How's it going, everybody? Chadley here, and today we have the update for our Flak Nukem build, and this is seriously, in my opinion, the best way to be playing Flak right now. The survivability is insane, and the damage is also insane. It's seriously ridiculous. Also, I am sorry for going down at the end of those opening clips. I am a scrub, and less so this build. I just suck. But let's go ahead and jump right into all this stuff. But real quick before we do, I just want to say we are quickly approaching 30,000 subscribers here on YouTube. So if you guys want to help me reach that number a little bit quicker and you guys enjoy the content here, make sure you guys are subscribed. I would really appreciate it. But let's go ahead and jump into our gear. Now, if you guys need help getting any of this gear, make sure you guys go down in the description and join the Discord. There is a huge active trading community in there, especially on console, so definitely hit that up if you guys need some help getting this gear. So first off, on our weapons. Now, unfortunately, I wanted to use something different, but it's really hard to replace this weapon as it is so incredibly strong. With this build, I highly recommend that you guys have this, and that is the Reflux. You guys are going to want the URAD anointment on there, so while under 50% health, gain 150% bonus radiation damage. This is insane and is your main mobbing weapon, and also is going to get you your Gamma Burst back immediately once it runs out. So that way you guys can throw Gamma Burst right back on the ground and then never really get damaged for the most part. As long as you're staying out of the line of fire of the enemies, you will be good to go. As you guys can see, I'm still using my level 57 version right now. And all the clips that you guys saw with this gun in the opening is all this level 57 version. I have not gotten my hands on it level 60 yet, and this level 57 still shreds even in the Guardian takedown. It's ridiculous. So if you guys still only have a level 57, that'll do until you guys can get your hands on a level 60 version, so that will be perfectly fine. If you guys don't want to use the Reflux, just use any other shotgun with a lot of pellets, and that way you guys can get your action skill back quicker. But I definitely recommend a Reflux for this build. And then at our number 2 spot, I like to have the proprietary license with the URAD anointment, and this gun is definitely pretty darn good for mobbing and also some pretty decent single target damage. Now, this weapon I will change out from time to time between different things. Sometimes I'll use the Bloom pistol, Herald, basically anything. Also, the Beacon pistol is also another really good option, or a Hell Shock. Any of those will do as a replacement. Also, as replacements for the URAD anointment, if you guys want to just use Gamma Burst, you're more than welcome to, and then that way you're free to switch off the front loader, and then you'll get a little bit more survivability as you will have a health gate, but you're also going to get less damage in return. So that's kind of the trade-off. You guys can play this however you want, but I personally prefer the 150 radiation anointment while using the front loader. And then in our third slot is going to be the Light Show. This gun just absolutely shreds. I highly recommend getting a URAD anointment on this weapon and then having a right around 10,000 damage per pellet or more. You can even get a little bit higher with some of the elements. This normal version is almost 11k damage, and then obviously times 4. It's nuts. You can shred through basically any type of enemy. Even if it's armor, you're going to be shredding through it. I highly recommend getting yourself a Light Show. And then I also have a couple different elements, and I have some Gamma Bursts in here. I have another URAD one. So if you guys download this save file, you have a bunch of stuff to play with there. And then finally, we're going to be using a complex root. Now in this slot, you can basically use any of the strong snipers in the game. If you guys want to use the root, you can. If you guys want to use an unseen threat, you're more than welcome to. And a wedding invitation now that you can get that at level 60 Mayhem 10. I know that one is kind of tough to get your hands on, especially if you're on console. But if you can get your hand on it, that's also another really good option. I also have a consecutive hits one with corrosive in here. That one works great for like Wotan and stuff. That's what you saw me using in the beginning. And then for general play, 150 rad on a shotgun fire works very well. And then like I said, for our shield, since we're making use of that 150 radiation anointment, we need to get our health below that 50% threshold, and we're going to be using a front loader to do that. This is way better than Deathless in my opinion, because you can also use the Pearl. If you guys don't have the Pearl, I highly recommend just trading and get your hands on it, and if not, you can rock a Deathless and then a different shield like an Old God or something along those lines, and then you guys will be good to go there. But I highly recommend the front loader. And then as my bonus element on it, I do like to use a combination of incendiary and then with my grenade corrosive for the most part. Occasionally, if I'm doing like something very specific, I will do like incendiary and radiation. Say I was just fighting Grey Ward, I would use these two, as that's going to give me the best results possible on Grey Ward. And then for our grenade, we're going to be using the Hunter Seeker. And the reason we're using a Hunter Seeker is when we are throwing this thing, it is going to proc head count for us and help us get Gamma Burst back quicker. So if you combine throwing Hunter Seekers with the reflex, you are going to get Gamma Burst back in basically an instant. It is awesome. I highly recommend getting your hands on that. Now, right now I have a Bounty Hunter equipped. This is because I was just bossing. So if you guys are doing a boss where there's no kind of just normal mobs around, throw on a Bounty Hunter and you'll have quicker kills. But the main thing you're going to be using with this build is a Red Fang. I highly recommend getting a Red Fang, as this is almost a requirement for this build. This is what's going to allow you to basically not take damage, because when we have Gamma Burst out basically 100% of the time like we do, nothing is really going to be attacking you. Everything's going to be focusing on your pet. Definitely get a Red Fang. Now, the skills on it don't really matter. I would just focus on really good passives, but if you are going for the perfect Red Fang, get 5 Eager to Impress and you guys will be good to go. It'll help you get your Gamma Burst back even quicker than you already can. And then finally, for our artifact, like I said, the Pearl is going to give us the best damage possible when combined with the Front Loader and the URAD Anointment. If you guys don't have the Pearl, just throw on some sort of Deathless, an Atom Bomb Deathless. I actually don't have one right now, or a Snowdrift Deathless will be good to go. I just have these on for just kind of moving fast, and I happen to pick up this Atom Bomb Auto Idol somewhere else. But I almost exclusively use the Pearl as it is the best damage option. But yeah, for other gear that you guys can use, as long as it has a Gamma Burst Anointment or the URAD Anointment, you are basically good to go. You can use almost anything. That's why I really do enjoy this version of Flak, because there is so much usability in terms of gear. It is awesome. You'll never get bored using different items. But then let's go ahead and move on to our skill tree. So we're actually going to start off in the red skill tree, as this is Flak's kind of best skill tree for sure. So starting us off, we're going to be using 5 Interplanetary Stalker. This skill is just overall great for damage. It's going to help our pet damage, and then we're going to get bonuses based off of what type of enemies we're killing. It works pretty darn well. And then we're going to be using Leave No Trace for that ammo return, and then 2 points into Second Intention for a little bit of reload speed. And then we're going to go 5 points into Hunter's Eye. There's a couple enemies that this should be working on, and it doesn't. It's also slightly bugged with the critical hit damage on humans when you're using Megavore. It won't actually apply if the Megavore proc works with that, which is kind of interesting. But overall, this is definitely a huge bonus. And then we're going to be using 3 points into head count for that cooldown on our Gamma Burst once it runs out. We're skipping Two Fang as some of our weapons are multiple projectiles, and this actually has a very strong diminishing return the more pellets your gun has. So I only recommend using Two Fang when you're using single pellet weapons. And then moving down, we're going to do 3 points into Big Game and 3 points into Most Dangerous Game. That is a really good combo between these two skills. And then 1 point into Galactic Shadow for more critical hit damage, and enemies are less likely to attack us. And then finally 1 point into Megavore, because it's Megavore and Flak's best skill. And then let's go ahead and move on to our blue tree. Obviously, we're going to be using Gamma Burst. And then for our augments, we're going to use Empathic Rage and Burst Aid. Now, I know we're going below the health gate on this build, but there's a lot of times you'll get a dot on you, and Burst Aid will actually save you, so I definitely recommend doing that. And the reason why I don't recommend doing Endurance is because we want our action skill to end quicker, as we can get it back instantly anyways. So this is going to allow us to get our bonus elements up more often and in turn deal more damage. And then for our pet, we're going to be using the Great Horn Skag, as this is going to give us the best damage possible, as we just get a flat 15% boost to damage and 30% gun damage. So going down our skills for this blue tree, we're going to be using Persistence Hunter, 3 points into there. We're going to have 1 point into Ferocity. I have 4 from the class mod. Not ideal, but doesn't really matter. And then 1 point into Go for the Eyes. And then moving down, we're going to do 5 points into Frenzy, as this is a huge damage bonus. And then we're going to use 1 point into He Bites for several reasons. This is going to allow us to proc Frenzy quicker, as that return damage counts as a Frenzy stack. So this is going to stack up to 10 very quickly. And also, when you guys are doing the Guardian Takedown and you're fighting the first boss, when he's doing that bubble, if your pet is inside of that bubble when it explodes, which would normally down you, this is going to return all of that damage right back to the boss and immediately bring him down to his next immunity phase, and it's a cycle. So if you can keep your pet alive in that bubble, you can consistently bring him down to the next phase with absolutely no shots fired. It's insane. I highly recommend doing this. And then we're going to do 2 points into Who Rescued Who. This is enough health return on your pet when you're doing damage to keep him alive and basically invincible. And then we're going to do 2 points into Hive Mind. This is going to take some of the damage off of you, especially since we don't have a health gate right now. That little bit of damage reduction definitely helps. And then 5 points into Barbaric Yawp to boost our pet bonuses that we get from our Great Horned Skag. And then 3 points into Pack Tactics, as this is going to be a huge damage buff to us as well as our pet. And then finally moving on to the Green Tree, we're going to do 5 points into Furious Attack, and at that point we're only going to have 4 points left. And we're just going to put them to Overclocked, as this is actually a pretty significant damage boost once you reload and get that fire rate bonus. Now, if you guys want Lick the Wounds, as you feel like you're going down a lot and you want your pet to be able to revive you, just take some points out of this blue tree and put 2 extra points into this green tree. So 1 point into Overclock, so you have that max, and then 1 point into Lick the Wounds. So probably you'd have 1 out of 3 into Pack Tactics. That also works very well, but I would prefer just as much damage as I can. But then on our next level cap increase, we're going to be able to get this, and it's going to be absolutely amazing. So now that we are finished up looking at our skill trees, we obviously have to look at our modifiers, as it is a huge part of this. Now for our easy modifier, I will almost always pick Speed Demon. Speed Demon is a huge bonus to movement speed. 1, it's just nice to get places quicker, and 2, it actually increases your survivability a ton, especially in something like the Wotan fight. When you guys are running around super quickly, it's very hard for the enemies to hit you, and it just overall works very well. And then our medium, I almost always use Healy Avenger. This is going to drop a ton of health and shield boosters on the ground for you, and it's just overall really nice for survivability. And you almost never notice it healing enemies anyways, so this one, it works very well for a medium. And then for our hard modifier, I have Laser Flare on right now just so I can shoot at the lasers and with the reflex and chain it to nearby enemies. It works very nice. If you guys really hate Laser Flare, I would do like Chain Gang, or if you're watching this down the line, when the healing drones are returned to the game, put that one on and you guys will be good to go. And then finally, for very hard, I really like Buddy System. This is very nice because most of the time you don't have to worry about killing things too quickly, as nothing's really shooting at you. So you can take your time to line up the shots on the buddy systems and just take them out. And with the reflex, when you shoot at the buddy system, it is going to chain to the nearby enemies. If you guys really hate buddy system, I would probably just do Postmortem at that point, but I would really only pick one of those 2 very hard modifiers. And then finally, I'm going to show you guys our head and skin combo, as you guys seem to have a lot of questions about this. For our head, we're going to be using the Anubust head, and this is from the Like, Follow, Obey codes. So this is like that PAX exclusive and Stream Team giveaway type stuff. So this is the one I use, but our skin is going to be Bad Astra. This is from the Guardian Takedown, and what I do with that is for our colors, I like to use a little bit darker yellow on the primaries, a yellow and black secondary, and that's going to give us kind of the speckled in yellow from the Galaxy portion. And then for the tertiary, I just go back to the little bit of darker yellow, and we get this really cool effect on our flak, definitely giving off that radiation vibe. I've had tons and tons of questions about this mechanic in previous Gamma Burst build videos, and that is fake bursting. Now, if you guys ever see me look up into the sky, it is because I am fake bursting. So what fake bursting is trying to use your Gamma Burst somewhere you cannot. So right now I'm looking up in the sky, and when I press my action skill button, in the bottom right, you can see my action skill kind of blinking. And what this is going to do is proc our action skill end anointments on our shield and grenades. And this is going to give us these elements active, and in turn give us a lot of bonus damage. So what I will do every single time I'm about to use Gamma Burst is look up to the sky, do a fake burst, and then throw my Gamma Burst on the ground. And what this is going to allow us to do is have 3 bonus elements active for a while. So right now, obviously, our URAD is always active, but if you guys are using a Gamma Burst anointed stuff, if you guys don't want to do the URAD anointments, for the first 12 seconds of your Gamma Burst, you're going to have your Gamma Burst anointment active, you're going to have your shields action skill end, and your grenades action skill end active at all times. So before I am bossing, or just in turn anytime I'm using Gamma Burst, I will fake burst and then throw it on the ground, and you guys are going to get a lot better damage, and I highly, highly recommend getting used to this and doing it every single time. So yeah, guys, that's this build in a nutshell. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this build video. I changed up kind of the formula I do for these build videos, so let me know what you guys think of kind of the new presentation style. Let me know what I need to change, if you guys like this or whatever, if I should go back to our old build videos. But thank you guys so much for watching this far. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you guys leave a thumbs up on it to let me know if you guys want to see more Borderlands content, especially flak builds. We're going to have a ton coming out several days in a row here. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. And also, like I said, if you guys need help getting the gear, go down in the description, click on that Discord link, and get into those trading sections. Also, while you're in the description, click on that Twitch link, catch us over live every single night at 7 p.m. Central Time, and I would love to see more of you guys over there. But otherwise, have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you all in the next video. See ya!